Hey. Alright, so I think I'm live. Yeah! I have no idea if... I think everything's good to go. What's up, everybody? I'm finally back from a very long hiatus from Twitch. Now that we kind of dropped Game Devs Play Games on YouTube, I'm just going to spend more time streaming. And one of the things that I wanted to do with the Twitch was kind of have a more intentional schedule. So Tuesdays are going to be Chrono gaming franchises, and per the request of Henry, I'm starting with Legend of Zelda. So that means we're starting with the very first one and going all the way up to Breath of the Wild. Hey, what's up, Henry? Heyo, bought my huge ass support beam to support your huge ass. Thank you! My huge ass appreciates it. It's been a very long time since I've played this game, so I think it's pretty safe to say that all of my streams are going to be pretty casual. Just because it's not like I'm speedrunning any of this. This is very much just kind of playing through each of these games, exploring how they kind of were iterated through each generation of the game and, you know, its installations. And I'll probably still talk a lot of game design just because that's kind of my preferred shtick. Yeah. But, you know, feel free to comment as much, ask questions, game design. I should probably not look away. I wonder if that chat box is even working. This is my first time using the, I feel like it's not working. I'm just going to go ahead and disable this for right now. Just so it's not taking up screen space. And I'll fix the chat box in the next stream. Alright, well, already not off to a great start. I feel like I went to a more dangerous area anyway. I think a lot of the early game, aside from just like hitting those early dungeons, is just farming for rupees so you can buy things like the candle. Oh, hey, bombs. Nice. Okay, so this shield actually does deflect. Oh, it does hit arrows too. Nice. Hey, talk about game design to fill the void and slave away the awkward demon known as silence. I mean, there's definitely going to be points where I'm not going to have a lot of super specific things to talk about. Especially if I'm not as familiar with the game, so that's going to kind of be on a case-by-case basis. With the original Zelda, I didn't actually play this game until I was in my 20s. So it took me quite some time to kind of explore this game, which is why I'm not very familiar with everything. Game design-wise, though, it was one of the earlier games to kind of explore a more open world design. And that's why it was kind of cool when Nintendo decided to kind of look back at its earliest games for inspiration for Breath of the Wild, that was sort of the thing that they pulled from it. And, you know, I guess that's a bit of a stretch ultimately, that like that original Zelda was the core reason it was like open world. Which I don't think is necessarily the case, but I think there's some truth to that because that sense of adventure is so clear in the original Zelda, because it's just like they don't tell you where to go. You just kind of go places until you figure out what to do. Alright, Dungeon 1. Probably the only... Well, I guess some of the other dungeons are kind of easy to stumble across. Ooh. This D-pad's a little wonky. One thing you could talk about is the soft locks in this game, as enemies being too dangerous if you get to places you shouldn't be. Would you call that a soft lock? Soft lock generally refers to a glitch where the game freezes, but technically is still running. But there are definitely moments like that where, yeah, you can really go to areas that are well beyond your skill threshold, which in this game really is just dependent on your equipment. But I don't think that's necessarily bad, right? Because if you die, you just go back to the start spot. Or if you die in a dungeon, I think you start at the beginning of the dungeon. Although I could be wrong. I feel like that's true, though. I don't remember if this game had the audio cues for secret doorways that you could blow up. And if that's the case, I don't actually have the means of listening to the game audio right now. Yes, it felt right. Though I think not all cases it's always useful to blow up walls. I think in the final dungeon it sort of requires you to do that. But I only did that once, I think. Yeah, so now I think I just kind of skipped ahead in the dungeon, which I guess is good for speed running. I'd call that a soft lock, as in they lock you out of an area due to abilities, not like locking you in the game. I mean, I would just call that a difficulty barrier. Like, Eastmost Peninsula is the secret. I wonder if they're talking about one of the rings? Whatever it is that gives you extra armor. But yeah, I would call that a difficulty like threshold or a barrier, just because it's not truly, if you're good enough, you still technically could beat those areas, which it's really not a lock at that point. Locks generally just refer to things that force you to restart the game. Yeah. As far as enemy design goes, and we talked about this a lot on GDPG, but the Zelda franchise is in its earlier days, oh dang, I didn't need to use that key. But the Zelda franchise in its earlier days was really good at figuring out ways to utilize enemy movement patterns to create a lot of really interesting challenge. In Zelda 1, while it's like, well, you know, they don't move in the craziest of patterns, it still sells it pretty well, especially considering that they're just a bunch of, like, wandering, aimless monsters that don't really do much. Also, yes, thank you, scary old man who's hiding in a dungeon. What is that guy doing here anyway? Does he really have a purpose? Like, does he live here? Is this his home? If so, I kind of feel bad for the guy. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh, there goes my only useful ability. Yeah, yeah. Oop, oop. Ah, I wanted to go down, not that way. This D-pad kind of sucks. I really should just get one of those Wii U classic controllers. Oh, oh. So I guess I can only... Oop, ah, ooh, ooh. Nice, nice. Dungeon beat! I can't remember. I think there are some other treasures in these dungeons. So I'm going to go back in and explore the rest of those rooms just because I don't want to miss anything. But it is nice to get that extra heart early. And I like that while I got the map, it shows me everything that I can go to on the mini-map, but it doesn't actually fill out the map on the pause screen. That's a really good way of kind of keeping that information clear as to like where I have and have not gone. There's the compass. Does the compass show you where treasures are? I actually forget what its use is in this game. but it does. The compass has been weird in the early Zelda games for a while, though. Okay, so really it's just straight up. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, and this is one of the few Zelda games, I think the only other Zelda game that I can think of that had that clock was Oracle of Ages? Or maybe I'm thinking of Link's Awakening. But yeah, that's not a monster drop that shows up very often in the franchise. Which I feel like is weird because it's such a fun idea. But maybe it was more important for this game because there's not a lot to do to stop monsters. So they're just like, oh, so clever. Yeah, okay. I was right. I think most of the items you have to go into these underground sections. Did I miss? Oh, I am going to wait to read that, Henry. Just a sec. Yeah, gotta get that bow. What up? Did I miss the worst thing about Zelda? Low health warning beep, or wasn't that a thing until later in the game? I think it was in this game. I've got the audio pretty low for the stream, so maybe it's not super noticeable. But it's one of those ones that's not like immediately offensive to your ears. But as you listen to it for like 20 minutes straight, it'll kind of drive you a little crazy. But honestly, there are worse instances of unsuccessful audio design, because it still does its job. And if you're like me, you kind of tune out that sound effect pretty easily. So I don't know, it never really bothered me that much, but I definitely understand why it bothers other people. I don't remember how much the candle is. And of course, the hearts that I was trying to farm, I end up losing anyway. The one interesting thing about this that Breath of the Wild definitely took some inspiration from was, and maybe some of the other Zelda games did too, I can't remember, you can't upgrade your sword until you have a certain amount of hearts. Like, that's how the game defines your skill level, which I thought was kind of cool, because I hadn't seen that in any of the Zelda games that I grew up with. But it makes sense, right? Because it's sort of indicative of how many dungeons you've beaten. So that's their way of monitoring your progress in the game without letting you kind of like min-max and just break the game. Oh, these boulders. This is back when Zoras were ugly monsters too. Which they're still pretty ugly in A Link to the Past. I really don't have to be this far. Oh, I would have thought they'd dealt more damage. Never mind, I guess it's not so bad. These guys were a pain in the butt, though. Ooh. I think this is an old man. Master using it, and you can have this. Yeah, this is one of those things that I was just talking about. So I can't get that until I have like 8 hearts or something like that. So it's not difficult to find. It's just, you know, they force you to play the game before you break its design. Oh, this is sort of like the Lost Forest. Okay, that was just backward. Yeah, but that was an example of what not to do in games, but someone had to do it so others could learn from it. I cannot tune out that, unfortunately. Oh. So in Breath of the Wild, they have destructible weapons, right? So why upgrade your weapons? Does it make the weapons last longer? So in Breath of the Wild, the only weapon that you would sort of upgrade. So yes, they all break. You don't upgrade those individual weapons, but the Master Sword still exists, and you can't pull the Master Sword until you have a certain amount of hearts. And the Master Sword is the best sword in the game. It's not only indestructible, though its energy depletes, so it still technically breaks, but it auto recharges. So you don't have to go seek it out every single time. It just replenishes over time, and then you can use it again. But it's the best sword for fighting things that Ganon controls. So yeah, it's a pretty significant buff once you get the Master Sword, and that's sort of the parallel that they kind of draw here. Because there's no true Master Sword in this game. If anything, it's sort of non-existent, but maybe implied through the later games. Because it's like, well, you get the Ghost Sword or the Silver Sword or the Magic Sword. Maybe it's really the Magic Sword that's considered the Master Sword in this game. So like, there's nothing that really calls it out, but the later games I think kind of drew from that and decided to give it a name. Oh wow, they damage you immediately. I thought they would do the shaky. Oh, that one did the shaky. Oh god, I'm just gonna go. I really should not be this far north anyway. Just give me a sweetheart. Give me a little. Whoa. Oh, that's okay. I should probably go back to the beginning anyway. Let's see, how many rupees do I have? 46. I think you can buy the candle here. Yeah, okay, so I need 60. I can buy a key from him. I wonder if that's a key to open a dungeon, or if it's a key I need for a dungeon. I don't remember if the keys are dungeon specific in this game, which is a pretty important choice that they made later on at the very least, because if you could use any key anywhere, it's a really tough way to design dungeons without accidentally actually soft locking the player and forcing them to just like start their game over. Oh, I have to bring her something. I think I bring her medicine. Ah. Man, no hearts. Come on. Oop, this is not a good place to be. Oh, this is the Lost Woods. That's also not a good place to be. I think I just need to go east. I'm gonna go east. I will say the Twitch dashboard for streaming is so much nicer than the YouTube one. Like, I got so much more information just sitting right there. Dang. Though, to be fair, last time I used Twitch, I think there were still things in the works. Whoop. And anyone who's watching the stream too that's coming from Game Devs Play Games, we have every intention of polling some of those guys onto the streams intermittently. So whenever I can get Tony to join me for a stream, or Eddie or Nathan, that's definitely going to happen. So even though the show is done, hopefully we kind of get to live on in things like Twitch until we kind of figure out a better game plan for what we're working on with things like GDPG. More space turtles with Eddie. Exactly. Actually, I do want to finish that Civ game. I know that if we stream it, it's going to feel really like out of nowhere because anyone joining that stream will have no context. But that was a fun game, so maybe we'll still finish it. Plus, I feel like most people that are going to watch the stream are probably ex-GDPG fans, so... I'm a little surprised that the game is sort of, not pixel perfect. Like, it's a little blurry. Because I'm playing this on the Wii U, and you'd think that their virtual console would do a better job emulating the game. But maybe that's the downside of, using outdated hardware. I don't know. Oh, come on, come on. I don't need bombs. I need life! Okay, now I can actually read what you're saying. I still think the game did weapon destruction the best was the way of the samurai. They had a health bar sort of thing that would quickly regenerate. So as long as you weren't spamming, you didn't need to worry, but furthermore, didn't break the weapon when you hit 0 instantly. You just lost a chunk of your max weapon health, making it easier to wear out again. I'm current GDPG fan, no X about it. Haven't stopped loving it. It's just a longer thing now. Eh, well, thanks, Henry. Oh, wait, I can buy the candle. Dope-a-dope-a-dope. I feel like that makes sense for Way of the Samurai, but for Zelda, I think they made the better choice. For various reasons, but I think the fact that the game forces you to rotate weapons added a lot to its like difficulty cycles, I guess. It meant that you could only ever prep so much for a conflict. So if you didn't prep well enough, it actually forced the player to find creative solutions or creative ways to kind of beat circumstances. And so it didn't need to preserve this idea of maintaining weapons. And I think that would have ultimately been a disservice to what the game was trying to do. That said, like, yeah, I get frustrated that these super awesome, powerful weapons that I acquire, I like don't want to use them because I don't want them to go away. So it causes me to just act like a hoarder, you know? So there's some give and take with that, I think. Yeah, I'll keep the candle out. Start burning some stuff. I think I can burn these. I think those are just rocks. It does suck, though, that you can only use the candle once per... Hey, that's a fairy. Per zone. So if you don't know where the hidden spots are, you just kind of have to, like, keep guessing. This is a little silly. Yeah, maybe it's not in this spot. Thought there was at least one over here. Maybe it's up. You gotta gauge how systems work in a game. The Way of the Samurai, it was a sword collector and you got really invested in the weapons, so you kept good care of them. Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of very clear design intent with that, and the fact that it led to a more memorable experience kind of tells me that they were successful in that, and that it was ultimately a good design choice to kind of incorporate that weapon management system. I know that the entrance to one of the dungeons is through a bush like this. I hope I don't have to, like, have the fire land spot on to the bush. I bet that's the case. It would be fun to play this game with the randomizer. I know that before I was streaming the A Link to the Past randomized, but I know that a randomizer exists for this one too. I wonder if anyone's randomized any of the later Zeldas. I feel like Ocarina of Time, or really anything from that point on, would be really difficult to do a randomizer for, just because those dungeons were very clearly built with a specific tool in mind. Oh my god, those guys are good at getting me just because they pop up in front of you. Actually, it was a murder simulator. Main characters have their own unique weapons, so you would try to figure out how to kill them story-wise, because the game is a choose-your-own-adventure. That's interesting. I feel like I've heard of that game. I've definitely not played it, though. Push comes to shove too, I can always open a walkthrough for this, but I'd like to avoid it as long as I can. Meet the old man at the grave! That's where you think you get the magic sword. Which I can't get that until I have like 15 hearts. So we're gonna wait on that. It is kind of fun though how they give you hints where you find sort of the good things in the game. Like, they knew that the map system was pretty vague, and it didn't really help tremendously other than giving you a sense on where in the world you are. So instead they give you hints through other characters, which I think adds a lot more to that, like, idea of this being an adventure game where, you know, you really have to just explore and talk to people to find anything. It's definitely very much more classic adventure than a lot of games are nowadays. Which, I mean, like, only makes sense. This game was a product of its time. But seriously, oh, one was the best up until 4, but 4 is always amazing. Always, but definitely was weird. But seriously, play Way of the Samurai 1, do it. I'll play it someday. I don't really know how to get my hands on it, which is really the only roadblock. Someone gives you a hint on what the correct sequence is here. Yeah, I have no idea what it is otherwise. But I believe that's how you get up onto... Oh, no, that's how you get either to Death Mountain or the Graveyard, or both. Or at least the other half of Death Mountain. Some games in the Zelda franchise I've either never played or never been able to beat, so that'll be interesting when I get to those ones. Like, oh damn it. Link's Awakening I've never actually been able to beat, and I've gotten pretty far in that, but that's not an easy game. But damn, it's good. See, like, this is set up to feel like one of these has to be a secret. Like, it's just a perfect row of two of these shrubs. Way of the Samurai, well, it was basically as played as Mega Man Legends by me, maybe more. So if that tells you anything, that's a good sign. I also definitely want to play through Mega Man Legends on the stream at some point. I've been jonesing to open those up again, especially now that you can get Tronbon on the PS3, like, virtual console. And Tronbon I'd never played before, and that is a weird game, and it is a delight. Well, I'll just eat shit then, I guess. I felt like it had to at least be one. This is the second to last dungeon, which this one I think if I had never looked at a walkthrough, it would have taken me forever to beat this as when I first played this game. Oh, yeah, no, I think it is that other one. Which, like, I guess looking at it, it's like, oh yeah, this seems like you do something here, but you get a lot of really cryptic messages about what you can actually do. And the trick there is you just need the recorder, and then you can actually drain that pond, or maybe it's considered a swamp. But yeah, it's like, how would you know that other than talking to everybody? Do I even have arrows? I don't think I do. Oh, I'm gonna kill these guys before I even bother. Alright, there's one. Ooh. There's two. There we go. Ah, okay. Boy, this is really expensive. Okay, so this, I believe, will give me armor. The meat I give to someone. I think I can also use that as a lure, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while, but I think monsters are drawn to it. Tronbon, been there, done that. Fun. But a pale version to Mega Man Legends. I mean, sure, but I think at the same time it wasn't exactly trying to be Mega Man Legends. I think it was trying to be sort of its own thing while existing in that same universe. And from the bit that I played, I feel like they were pretty successful in achieving that. I mean, like, granted, it was very strange. But I really liked the like diversity of challenges to that game. Oh my goodness. Plus, like, all the fun little things you could do with the what are they called? The little robot guys. There we go. That's one of them. It's a secret to everybody. Thanks, buddy. Only 10. Some of those, if after you burn them down, they'll make you pay for it. They'll be like, hey, that was my door. And then they take 10 rupees from you. Which is so mean. It's like, how was I supposed to know this before going down there? That this was a gamble. I like some of the modes though, like adventure and box stacking puzzle. And yeah, I own that game. Oh, I feel like I remember you mentioning that, Henry. That's a pretty hard game to find nowadays too. I'm happy they put it on the virtual console for PlayStation though, because games like that, it's really sad if they kind of like just get lost to the ages. I think anyway. Bet this is going to be one of the ones that was like, my door! Pay me for the door repair! Oh, 20 rupees, come on, man. I kind of like that you can use the candle to actually damage enemies too. It's not a very effective weapon, but it's kind of fun. Did I tell you my biggest tragedy? I mean, maybe. I hope it's not actually that tragic. I hate that these guys can keep moving after, or when they're stunned. I've definitely been over here. But there is a dungeon. I feel like I went in there too, and that was just a shop. Also, I'm pretty sure I died here. Yeah. I don't know if that shield in there is any different than mine either. Because it looks pretty similar. But why would I buy that? Boy, this is really expensive. Wow, that's a lot more expensive than the other one. Also, I can just buy a heart. Oh, here we go. Oh, shoot. Yeah. Fight me. It's a secret to everybody. Thanks for your 10 rupees. Paid for it, never got to play it. Oh, wait, I missed the first part. I'll get to it in a second. Yeah, this is where I missed having a co-host. Especially for things like streams. It would be so nice to have, like, you know, someone just kind of reading the chat and reading it out loud so that it doesn't hinder the gameplay. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's a secret to everybody. Some of these are, that one's not so bad. That one's 30 rupees. Straight up bought Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for PS2, and that's really hard to get now, but misplaced it in the store. Game's worth $100 now to get a copy. I guess I fell out of my cart going to the car. Paid for it, never got to play it. Man, that sucks. Oh my goodness. I do have one of those classic controller attachments. Maybe I should just use that next time I stream. On the plus side, the rupee farming is so far moderately successful. Especially considering that I've only found one spot that made me pay for repairs. Bam. Have Me6 help you out with the streams? If only. Except Me6 probably does great on some people's nerves. I need to find whatever Kayla was using or Foxin was using for her Discord, where it kind of just shows the stream link in the user's profile. I really like that. That's way better than, you know, shouting at everybody anytime anyone starts streaming, because that starts to get annoying. Speaking of which, I don't even know if Me6 gave me a shout out. Darn robot. I don't need to kill him. What's up here? I think this is just a person... Oh, this is a whole area. I'm pretty sure that's immediate death. For Two Heart McGee over here. Whoa. Oh, that's a person. Or was this the first sword? Oh, show this to the old woman. Okay, so this is the, I think this is the old woman that was just kind of like sitting there and didn't say anything. Ah. Oh, which dungeon is this? I think this is 4? Oh, this is not a dungeon. Oh, this is gambling. Sure. Damn it. Man, the odds were really against me there. Should go on a full-on murder if a guy asks you to pay for his door. Hero tax, bitch. Get all your stuff. I mean, like, if someone just barged down my door and just, like, destroyed my apartment, I'd be a little mad, too. Just saying. I'm gonna play the empath here and say they're in the right. Whoop. There we go. I guess I can go to that old woman. I don't remember what she gives you, though. Oh, yes, I need that. Yes, yes. Laser sword is so useful. Nothing can stop me now. I said nothing. Nothing. Ooh, give me that. Yeah. Candle key. Should I be buying these keys? I hope not. Whoa, whoa, whoa. D-pad, D-pad. Oh, come on. Yeah, anytime I, like, wander weird like that, that's because the D-pad is confused in which direction I'm trying to actually go. What if maybe I just go... Was it up 3? I really liked these sequences in this game, where it was just like, here's a random sequence of, or you have to, like, learn the secret sequence in order to be able to navigate past this area. I feel like once is enough. Shigeru Miyamoto. Whoa, wah, wah. But yeah, Mi6 did beep you. Oh yeah, good. And I really like Mi6. Shouting out most folks. Just wish you could... Sorry, I'm like intermittently reading this. Just wish you could customize it to the folks you want a tab on. Oh, you mean like on a person-by-person basis? Because I can choose who it gives a shout-out for, but yeah, I wouldn't want to, like, exclude people. And yeah, no, murder is rarely the answer. I'm glad you've seen the path of light. Oh, it keeps those stairways open? Oh. I always thought that they would seal up after I, like, move off cell. I mean, that's kind of nice, at least. At least I don't, like, have to keep accidentally rediscovering the same sequences, or the same hidden spots. Oh, I'm gonna go to that old woman and see what she gives me. I feel like Dungeon 2 really isn't that far away from the starting spot, too. I know it's further south, I just can't remember if it's east or west. My guess would be west, if only because Dungeon 1 was like northeast. that one was definitely me being a doofus. Whoa. Yeah. But still, I can't take it. It's mine. Skyrim and all the Final Fantasies and RPG really has taught me that stuff in people's houses is just stuff that hasn't gotten in my pockets yet. Houses. Hence the hero tax joke. Oh no. I got what you were getting at. Oh. Buy medicine before you go. Alright, which one is... I don't remember which one's the good one. I think one of them gives me an extra heart. I'm gonna look this up. Because one of them is an absolute waste. I might be thinking of a different part. Oh, maybe it is just potions. Okay, so life potions and second potions. Okay, so I think this doesn't go away. Life potion's the blue one. What is second potion? Second potion is also red. It's a bottled drink that Link can purchase after he has shown them the letter. He can also be obtained from old men. But what does this do? He will permanently miss... Wait. However, if Link chooses the second potion, he will permanently miss the heart container. Oh. If Link uses the second potion, he'll drink it, restoring his hearts. Okay, so I was right. The life potion gives me an extra heart. Oh no. Bottle drink that Link can purchase for 40 rupees from any old woman in the cave. If he uses a life potion, he'll drink it, restoring all of his hearts. Life potions only have one use, while blue, but can be used twice if Link purchases the second potion. So wait, why does this say... I'll lose the heart container. Second potion is red, Link can purchase... But we'll change to the blue variety. Yeah, I think this doesn't matter. I think it's fine. Yeah, I did it. I hope that was the right choice. There is definitely one part, though, where you can grab the wrong thing and get, like, a potion or an extra heart container. And if you grab the potion, you just miss out on a heart container. It's like, great. That's fantastic. Well, that kind of worked out until it didn't. Oh my goodness. Sorry, it sounded like someone was opening the door. Okay, I swear this other dungeon is like over here somewhere. What does the page do while active? Do you read them to enemies to death? Nah, I think it just does nothing. It would be kind of fun if it had a function, but it's kind of like the mushroom in A Link to the Past, where its only purpose is to give to the potion witches so that they can brew you potions. Which I guess, really, that's exactly what just happened here, which is kind of obvious. Aha! Aha! It's a secret to everybody. Thanks. Alright, so my memory's not the worst thing in the world. I'm just really terrible at finding these dungeons. Oh, pay me and I'll talk. Oh, so you have... I don't know what info she gives you. I don't need it. I hope. Oh, I wonder if it's to navigate this. I bet it is. I'm just gonna go to that fairy fountain. I might as well. I guess you're nobody because it's not a secret to you. Oh. I see how it is, Henry. I do sort of wish that there was like an overworld map I could see. Like I get this little grid on the upper left, but it's not super useful. Is this dungeon too? I mean, I'm gonna do it. Level 3. I think this is doable. Especially if I have the second potion. Oh, that's right. These guys split. It's not a super pain. But they can get annoying. I think sometimes you do still get keys if you clear a room. I could be wrong, but I'd rather play it safe and make sure I don't miss any. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Now it's more of a question of, do any of these have secret doors? Nope. I feel like the other one doesn't either. Oh, great. Yeah, you can't hurt these guys from the front. Which they're a huge pain in the butt to kill. You just have to be good at juking. There we go, that's one. Although I think no matter... Oh, nope, I take that back. I was going to say I think they can't turn a full 180, but I was wrong. Fortunately, they're not super good at targeting you. I didn't even get anything out of that. Well. Oh boy. Whoa. Come on, just go up. Oh, that was the map. Alright, sweet. I'll take that. I have 2 keys. Oh, do I have to kill those guys to open that door? Yeah, I do. I'm going to save that potion for the boss fight. If I die, then it won't take that long to get back over here. Oof, that was close. Ah! There we go. This was kind of fun. It's not too dated to link it to the past. What was that? Sprites could only be 4 colors back in the day? It wasn't quite that limited, but color palette on the NES was a lot smaller then. Like, the Super Nintendo was a pretty huge advancement in technology. But also, the Super Nintendo was like, it was way overdue by the time it came out. Like, people were begging for something like that for a long time. And Nintendo had this attitude of like, well, if we don't have to make a new system, we might as well not. It was the same exact thing with the Game Boy. I think it was probably worse with the Game Boy, just on what I've learned through podcasts and stuff. But yeah, Game Boy, it was dominating the market so hard that Nintendo just like dragged their feet to even like get the Game Boy Color out. Because at that point, there was a certain point where other handheld consoles were like, you know, developing higher quality technology, but Nintendo was still beating them because they just owned that market. Oh, that's what I get for not being good. Alright, I'll actually play this a little more careful. Oh, I have the boomerang? I actually don't remember getting that. Don't know how that happened. I should have been using that. Oh, come on. I don't think these guys even drop anything, do they? Yeah, so I shouldn't even bother fighting them. Yeah, I didn't actually start exploring NES titles until I was in my late teens also, because I didn't have an NES growing up. My first real console was Super Nintendo. Do I have any arrows? Oh, wait. That's not the bow. Oh, yep, I don't have any arrows. That's why it won't let me pick it. Interesting. So I wonder if I have to buy arrows before I can even get loot drops. Ah! Come on. Oh, God. Ah. I might as well keep bombs out. I can use those. Whew. That's not so bad now. That's not so bad. Oh, that's what those guys do. They stop me from being able to use my sword. Which is kind of fun, actually. That's also not something that really happens in Zelda very often. Probably because it's more frustrating than anything, because it's like, you know, that's the core method of doing anything in those games, is use your sword. Oh, this is the boss. Yeah, I'll just prep that. Oh, that does full heart damage. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go explore the rest of this dungeon first and get the item here at the very least. Yeah, I'll use the boomerang. Bang. I don't know why these guys are flying across the room like that. Maybe they were always doing that and I just never noticed. Man, I hear more about Nintendo the more I see it as Walt Disney. They're brilliant and make great stuff, but they have serious douche streak that can turn you to dislike them. They definitely have a douche streak. I don't think they're as bad as the Walt Disney Company. But Nintendo was absolutely a bully in its early days. But it's pretty hard to refute that Nintendo's... oh, jeez, man, there's so many of them. Who thought it was the good idea to put so many of these guys in here? Oh, thanks for the heart. Ah! But yeah, I mean, like, really Nintendo was more of a bully in terms of, like, how they decided to... Oh, my goodness. How they decided to, fight their competition. They're pretty ruthless about it. And even things like, the N64 was pretty jerkish because they had to deal with Sony to make their attachment for the N64, because it was originally going to be a CD and a cartridge console, and then Nintendo was like, never mind about CDs, and that's why we have PlayStation. Which is kind of crazy to think about, that Nintendo was like the creator of its own core competitor, but you know, we have a better game industry because of it, so it's hard to complain. Plus, like, it's totally possible that Sony would have found that path no matter what. We're just gonna go north. There we go. boy, this sword system in A Link to the Past was such a nice change. Like, having that half arc sweep is just like, it was one of the best choices they made for the combat. Because, like, Link just kind of jabbing his sword forward, it works, but man, it is tough when you're trying to, like, maneuver around enemies. Okay, I have 2 keys. Feel like north is probably where the dungeon loot is. If my hunch is at all accurate. Squaresoft before Square Enix. I don't remember if Square was much of a jerk. Square definitely has an interesting history, though. I'm not as well versed in that, though. Oof. Yeah, this is why having more hearts is nice. Gotta get good at classic games someday, though. Might as well be today. Goodness. It'd be kind of fun to... Oh, secret. There we go. It'd be kind of cool to see this on the original Famicom, though. Did you get the sword from the old man on top of the waterfall? I can't, old man. Oh, I forgot I could hurt him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that one time I stabbed you. Intentionally, even though I didn't think it would do anything. And I don't know why, because stabbing people hurts. This feels like it could be a room, but it's not. How about this? But it's not. I mean, I have 4 more bombs. Fuck it. Yeah, I didn't think so. Squaresoft became Square Enix when they settled their drama with Nintendo, but ironically afterwards stopped caring about their stuff. Well, Deus Ex was good, but they did wrong with Eidos and Hitman. Yeah. I mean, that was later in Square Enix's history. But yeah, Nintendo did kind of screw Squaresoft also. But, you know, now Square Enix is quite a beast. Oh, I still have 2 keys. Nice. I wonder if you can buy those keys in case you get stuck. Like, you're just stumped and don't know how to get the rest of the keys, so you can just buy one. The original pay to win. Okay, well, it looks like most of these rooms are a waste of time. Really, I should have just been fighting these knights in order to get to that one room that I was having a hard time getting into. The answer was in front of me this whole time. Yeah. Oh, well, this is not boding well. Yeah. Oh, that's okay. Better to start fresh. Am I right? Chris, you're now becoming corrupt by me. Asking old men, hero tax, bitch. Yeah, basically. Man. All I'm saying is, I feel like slimes should at least drop loot. Like, why these guys, of all monsters, to be excluded from that rule? I'm sure there are other ones too, but still. Whoop. D-pad. It's a dumb pad. Yeah, it doesn't help that these guys... Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I don't see my classic controller over there, otherwise I would just grab it. Whoa. You're not supposed to go in there. Yeah, that's the tough thing about this game too, is it's a lot of, you take a lot of damage real quick, and you just gotta like plow your way back to the same point you were. All right, I'm gonna go find that classic controller. I'm gonna fix this. I'll be right back. Okay, found it. It was actually not as difficult to find as I expected it to be. But yeah, have you played Maximo? I've always wanted to play Maximo, actually. One touch I liked is that you can actually see keys on your character model as you collect them. Like if you have 3 keys, there are 3 keys dangling from your belt. Turning off some water so it doesn't freeze tonight. It's a very interesting thing to have to do, Henry, but yeah, you do you, buddy. Oh, this classic controller is so much better. Immediate relief. This thing. I wasn't even sure it would work either because it was for the Wii. I guess the Wii U really used a lot of the same hardware, but you know. I didn't test it before the stream because I didn't think about it. I actually forgot I had this. The timing is killer. Just got back as you beeped back on. Aw, yeah. Now let's see if I could not die. It'll at least be easier to juke them, but they're also apparently really good at juking me. Ah, yeah, see? I couldn't have done that with that other controller. Ooh! Well, that was a waste. There we go. That's one. And I'm out of... Ooh, boy, I'm out of bombs. I probably should have thought more about that. Woo! Ah! Alright, here we go. Yes! Oh my god. Yes! Yeah, get some. Yes! You don't want any of this? Ah, yeah. Oh, wow, he gave me 4 bombs. Sweet dickens. What? Oh, no. Well, at least I get some bombs back. Blah, blah, blah. This is what I get for going to a dungeon early. But that's what the game wants. Teases you by making all the dungeons hard to find and in weird places. Whoa, ha. Oh, sure. Yeah, go ahead and fly across the room. That's fine. Oh, I guess I should have put my headphones back in case anything happens on the stream. Damn fancy stream alerts. I don't remember... Oh, right. I don't have bombs equipped. I don't remember what stream alerts I set up. I know that it'll give a shout when I get new followers and get donations. Not that I'm asking for donations, but, you know, every little bit helps. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. This is just the beginning of my journey of being good at classic games again. It's been far too long since I've picked up NES titles. Now that I have a Retron too, it really is high time to, like, get good. Not that this is on the Retron, but, you know. Especially if Zelda 2 is coming up next. The game is... I think that game is an absolute delight, but it is also not an easy adventure. Yay! What's up? Arrow Heart. Oh, hey, what's up, man? Ooh, Yeah, I realized that I had forgotten to actually, like, say anything on social media before I started streaming. Ooh, ah. Which was, perhaps a poor choice. But now everyone's just in time to see me in my constant... the trials of fighting the horde of knights. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna beat them. It's just a matter of time. I guess I could get one good hit off with the candle. Candle tactics. Actually, I would not be surprised if the candle was potentially super useful for speedrunners. Perfect timing. Snowed on the East Coast, so watching YouTube and Twitch all day. Nice. I feel like today should have been like that in Chicago. It was like 40 or 50 degrees. Well, maybe not that warm, but it was pretty warm just yesterday, and then we had a blizzard for like 10 minutes today. And that was it. And then it stopped very abruptly, and we were like, where did the snow come from? Oh. So the candle didn't do much of value here, so I'm just gonna go back to bombs. There we go. And got more bombs to boot. Yeah. Oh, ooh. I miss being able to stun lock my enemies. Ah, ooh, ah. Yeah. Oh, ah, he got me, but I couldn't get him. Oh, he thought about turning. He thought real hard about it. Oh, come on. I'm like spreading the damage as thin as I can on accident. Oh, huh. Oh no! Yeah, I could not get past that room when I was trying recently. Wonder if you could have that item in the dungeon that makes it bombs to boot. Sounds like painful footwear. Probably. There's probably an item that would make it easier, but this is only Dungeon 3, so the expectation is I would only have whatever I got in Dungeon 2, which honestly, I don't remember what that is, and I bet it's not super useful for combat, because most items aren't. But I could also be very wrong. I'm also taking damage already, like a chump against slimes. On the plus side, as I go through the Zelda franchise, my capabilities as a game player will only get better over time. So the worst it'll be. That's a plus, right? I'll call that a plus. Really, I think I just need to be more patient with these guys. And be smarter. Like not doing that. I should probably stop doing that. I think corners are really the key here. I think that's what Nintendo wants. They want... Ooh! I don't want to leave. Although I don't think they'll restart. But I don't want to chance that. Just give me a heart. Please. Just one heart. Or a fairy. That'd be super nice. Oh, why did he jump off like that time? See, sometimes they kind of get kicked around, and then other times they don't. And I'm not really sure what what does that. Alright, one guy. I can do one guy. That's easy. It's a walk in the park. Cakewalk. Ooh, ah, ooh. I don't know what you're trying to tell me, Twitch, but thanks. It said I completed things. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's like, hey, good job for streaming more than 10 minutes. Oh, of course now I get the stopwatch. Game, why? Zelda, please. Zelda, please. Please don't do this to me. Zelda, please. Please, Zelda. Zelda, please. Please, please. Oh, goodness. Now just don't get killed by bats! And then you're good, Chris. You're good. Oh, it's the raft. That will open quite a world. Got it. Jeez, man. Just, come on. Just, there you go. Unfortunately, the raft won't help me against the boss fight, but at least I got it. I feel like I'm not going to get anything for killing those guys. I'm pretty sure I've done that before and was met with only disappointment. Your thumbs will be muscly and veiny and stuff. You also gotta, like, Triforce Callus. I'm just gonna kill myself. Can you spam at the doors? You can't place bombs. No, it doesn't look like it'll let you. I know they let you do that in A Link to the Past, but maybe they, you know, wanted to make this game hard. Which is makes sense. Goodness gracious. These guys have more invincibility frames than I do. That's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, I really could use more bombs, though. Oh, right. I have to kill these guys. Forever battling knights. That is the story of Chris. Though I'll still hold that as you get more hearts and as the game progresses, I think the bosses kind of get easier because they sort of maintain a certain level of difficulty. But when you have 4 hearts, it's pretty tough. This dungeon's pretty mean too because they don't give you many opportunities for heart drops. So you're just kind of like, if your main source of heart drops is fighting knights, it's like, that's not gonna happen. You're gonna lose more hearts fighting these guys than what you get. Unless you have a better sword, but can't get that till you have more hearts. Like heart capsules. Heart containers. Ooh, ha! There we go. Hey, more bombs. I'm gonna need that for the boss. Oh, goodness gracious. I just want to hit them through their shield. That's all I want. I want a shield that good, actually. That's what I want. Ah, that's a lot better. Whew. You have invincibility frames, Chris? What animations do you have that you do not get hurt? Do you get 3 frames of invincibility when you sneeze? I don't know if it shows on the capture super well, but I get invincibility frames immediately after I'm hit, and then it'll flicker. But I know on the Elgato, it tends to drop those frames, and I'm not sure why. But I've seen that on a lot of Let's Players. Oh, jeez. Yeah, see, I didn't take damage that time after falling through the slime guy. So it's like maybe half a second to a second of invincibility. Whereas like some of the enemies, they get a pretty good amount of time of invincibility. Like 2 or 3 seconds. That was a bad placement. I think this is one of those guys that gets easier though as you, oh goodness, as you take out his heads. And I don't think Boomerang will do anything of value here. Ah, yeah! What up? Wow, that was not so bad. Just one good bomb placement. For the record, you can see the whole flashes when you take damage, so your capture's pretty good. Hey, that's actually really nice to know. That's not something that I've tested very much because we don't play. Well, on GDPG we didn't play a ton of retro games, and then obviously I haven't been streaming in quite some time. Okay, so that was Dungeon 3. Now I have the raft, so I can go to at least a handful of extra places, but I still haven't gone to Dungeon 2, wherever that is. And I might as well do that one next if I can find it. If only to get that extra heart container. That's a store. Yeah, I'm good with that one potion for now. I don't want to buy a new one. What is up here? Nothing. So maybe I was right. Maybe Dungeon 2 is actually in the east. So I might have been thinking of Dungeon 3. Man. $74 rupees. I don't think that's enough to buy anything useful yet. Yeah! Laser swords! Bang! Isn't one of the on the island The one with the bridge. Wait, isn't the one on the island the one with the bridge to access it? You mean Dungeon 1? The one that I already did? Because that is definitely a dungeon, but there's another one that has kind of like a little dock that you take the raft to get to. Oh, these guys. Always these guys. Always these guys. And then suddenly, it gets a lot easier. Just like throws old enemies at you. Of course, here I am taking damage. But at least these guys drop hearts. I think all the overworld enemies do that, though. Nope. Ah. It's okay. I'm in adventure mode right now. Just gotta find the dungeons. That's all that matters. All that matters, Chris. You can find that dungeon. If you believe you can. And maybe that shield is better. I mean, it looks like it's a different shape. Maybe I'll try buying it. Nathan's funny about gaining extra lives, and he doesn't like that in games. Dude has so much gamer pride. Does he? I never noticed that when we played games together, but I also would not be at all surprised by that. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. I think I need the ladder to get that. Dang it. Teasing me, Zelda. Teasing me. Yeah. Oh, that's so cruel. I'll have to remember that, though. Ladder was a cool idea for this game, too. That's one that they brought back, I think, in a couple of games. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of the Rock's Feather. Oh, I think I'm not ready for this dungeon. Oh, that's not... Oh, this is the one I was talking about. Okay, so I could take a potion, or I could take an extra life. I'm gonna take the extra life. Because why would you take the potion? Please. Whoop. Ah. What? Aw. Go from... Jeez, you go from doing okay to disaster panic in all of like 5 seconds. Let's see, 3... I think I need 1 more heart to get the next sword. I don't think they tell you how many you actually need, though. Yeah, there we go. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Ah, of course. Watching him on your show now, he'd... Whoop. Never mind. Oh. Bam. He'd go on tangents about not liking extra health upgrade. He feels like, oh, well, that's sort of a different conversation. He's talking strictly in RPGs. Nathan basically will make the argument that defense and health equate to the exact same thing, and I tend to agree. And obviously there's some differences despite that. But that was mostly what Nathan was complaining about, was when a game kind of offers you this multiple things of the same thing, it's like, well, I'm just gonna keep getting more health, I guess, because that's just literally making the game tremendously easier rather than more interesting. But in games like Zelda, I mean, like, that's definitely still true. But especially Zelda 1, that's such a master at using it, and you can have this. Yeah, I still can't get it. At least, well, I might as well try, but I don't think I can get it. Because he changes his text. Oh, never mind. I'm glad I tried. Well, this game just got a lot easier. But yeah, I mean, Nathan's a stickler about things like that. Especially because he plays a lot of, like, tactical RPGs, so he just thinks about that stuff all the time. Yes. Yes! Alright, well, Dungeon 2 will be a breeze. Oh, I need that. Give me that. Now I just gotta find it. Unless Dungeon 2 is one of those dumb ones that's in a little hidey hole. Which it very well could be. Oop. That's what I get for not paying attention. Ah, yes! I can kill these guys in one hit now. That's so satisfying. Let's see where this takes me. Is this Dungeon 4? Hey, it is! Well, we'll just do Dungeon 4. Yes! Oh, that's right, they turn into bats. So weird. Oh, I started this dungeon with the keys, so yeah, maybe keys aren't locked to specific dungeons in this game. Huh. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense why they would let you buy keys then. Just to try. Yeah, I didn't think so. Oh, no, I need to use candle. Now I can see! It's things like this that make me like the A Link to the Past randomizer a lot, because having the lantern becomes so much more important than you would think. Because the lantern in that game normally is, you know, easy peasy. You get it immediately, you don't need it for that much. But as soon as you play the randomizer, you start to realize, oh, if I can't see in the dark, I can't do half of the dungeons. Which I think was awesome. Also, changing to this classic controller was the best choice I could have made. Even if I'm still not great at this. It is so much. Oh, this is the dungeon that I get the ladder in. I think. I'm like 90% sure. Because that's why they have that that gap by that other door. It's to be like, oh, can't go here till you get that ladder. Which is one of the few dungeons that actually had a tool requirement in order to beat. Of course. It was inevitable. I was gonna goof up someday. Is this a nothing room? Maybe there's a key here. Yeah, there we go. Like if you ran out of health, your character would move slower, but you didn't die. Vitality, you became less perceptive and the more likely to die, but both were filling up, eating and sleeping, just feeling like they could have smushed 2 bars into one. Just played a game. Oh, you're talking about a game that you played. Sorry, I missed that first line. Ah! Whoa! Oh, it's the compass. Which I'm still not quite sure what it does for me, but... Oh, it tells me where the boss is. I see. Not the most useful thing in the world, but that doesn't hurt. Yeah, any of these enemies that... Oh, you know what? Okay, so I have a theory as to why enemies like these little jumpy vampire guys and the slimes don't drop loot. I think it's because they can only drop one thing, and when you kill them, they're already dropping bats, so they can't. They've already expended that feature, and they don't have. Well, I guess I'm not really sure what the limitations of the NES were, but they might not have been able to tell, like, the child of a child to be able to drop something. That's my speculation. But from that perspective, that's kind of a clever use of an existing system to create more challenge. Just like being able to say, like, hey, have this, instead of having, you know, a unit drop an item, instead drop an enemy. Like, that's good. That's clever. Like, it doesn't seem like much, you know, looking at it nowadays. But back then, I think that's, like, as a very, I guess, like, what's the right word I'm trying to think of? Non-standard design. Like, it wasn't standard back then. Like, those standards didn't exist. So, like, that's why it's clever, because no one else had done stuff like that necessarily, or not many people had done it at that point. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, it's a like. Get out of here. I don't want you. Stop it. I don't want you to take my stuff. I forget what they take, but no matter what, I don't want them to take it. Little pancake stack. That's what I always thought these guys were. Ooh. Can't use my sword. Can't use my sword. There we go. Get out of here. Get out of here. Evil fairy. Are these guys even called evil fairies at this point? Okay. There we go. Give me that sweet item. Please don't let me die. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. I just want this ladder. I just want this ladder. It's not a big deal. Now I can go get that other heart capsule. Oh, ha. Whoa. Alright. Juked him. As in the enemy inherits both item and drop class. Item and enemy class. I mean, sort of. I think it's, what I was saying was that they're essentially part of the same exact feature. Like, it's enemy has a drop function, insert an item or a thing for them to drop. So that thing that they are dropping in this case were the bats instead of like a heart. Oh, these guys respawned. Yeah, but look at them juking skills that I got with this ladder. Oh, there's the map that I can't reach because it's too far away. Gosh darn. What a tease. Did I have to use a key for that? I think I did. What a waste. Nintendo, you're mean. Earth elementals, orcs must die. Oop. I should not read and do this at the same time. Okay. Become... Oh, well, at least now I know the map's over there. Not original, never mind. That game came 20 years later. Although, I doubt they were using OO back then. Yeah. Yeah, I know sadly little about the actual development of this game. I feel like I should know more since it's such a, like, important installment in the universe of gaming. Yeah, give me all that sweet cash. Bam. Oh, we're doing this again. Okay. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Ooh, he gets faster. He gets faster. Oh, I have 2 bombs. Yeah, last time I killed him so fast, I didn't even realize what would happen if I dealt damage. Well, I have a lot of rupees now, though. Oh, I only start the dungeon with 3 hearts. Oh, that's so mean. Well, yeah, I guess the bats don't really drop anything either, so maybe it really is just them choosing specific enemies to not drop stuff. I wonder if they did that just because there's so many of those enemies? Or maybe they thought farming for health was bad for the experience, which I feel like that might have been a little short-sighted if that's the case. Although I guess it made the game more truly difficult. These guys drop stuff though, so I'll happily kill them. And not much value. It's probably low-level code. Some kind of language for the NES processor. Assembly like. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Coding in assembly was very common back then. Well, might as well use a bomb. I'm not sure. I think this will do a full heart of damage. So I could probably take a hit. Oh. Yes! And I got more bombs. Awesome. And now I get to keep my potion for the actual boss battle. Walk into the waterfall! Yeah, that sounds right. Oh, I don't have enough keys, which means there's a room. Oh, that's not going to be fun. There's a room where I'm going to have to kill everything and get a key. I think really it was most of probably just one of these rooms with all these little bat guys. Oh, ah! It'd be real nice if it were this room. Super nice. Nah, I didn't think so. What was over here? Oh, this was the map room. Yeah, not this room. Of course they respawn. I feel like I killed them all in this room too, but maybe not. Ooh, only got one of them. Only got one of them. You stop that. Yeah. Okay. That's one. And nothing. Yeah, I guess I'll go this way. Did I kill them all in this room? Maybe this is the one that I skipped. Because it's so windy and a pain in the butt. Okay. Okay, so not this room. This is the one with the stairway, and not north because, oh, come on. But did you have to? Did you have to? That's okay. I'm probably better off just getting more health anyway. I just hope I don't have to fight that sub-boss again. Yeah, watched this huge thing a while ago on the development of the game. Find it for you. Yeah, Orcs Must Die was a series I've been meaning to actually try for a while. It was really popular when I was in school. I just never got around to it. Especially because in school, I was not playing games at that point. I was so focused on just work. That was very much one of the reasons why I started forcing myself to play games, and one of the reasons why we started GDPG, actually, because I just needed to like force myself to get into the habit of playing games. I almost wonder if I already got all the keys that I was gonna get. I might have to buy a key. I'm pretty sure I already killed all the bats in... Oh, come on. I think I killed all the bats in this. Yeah, in college I was no games. I sent you the video in Discord. Alright, cool. Thanks, Henry. What was to the right over here? Was this a thing? Did I kill all these guys? Maybe I didn't kill these guys. I think this was the compass room. But I feel like giving 2 treasures in one room is poor form. But I wouldn't put it past them. Too much to hope for. I don't think any of these are secret doorways. I guess I could try going back to the other secret door that I found. I don't know if they give you access in all 4 directions. But that might not be a bad way to see if I can skip past that door. Gotcha. Bam, bam. I missed my laser sword. Okay. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, as I run into a bat. But this way, I will know that I have cleared this room. Okay. So that's definitely not the room. And I've cleared this room multiple times, so it's definitely not this one. Whoop. Where was that secret room? Was it... Oh, maybe it was... Oh, it stays there. Well, then I guess this all worked out in the end. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Oh, I can. Okay, well, I'll just skip that locked door then. Because why not? Oh, and of course there's a key. Oh. Unless that's the key I'm supposed to use to unlock it, which I feel like is probably not the case, but, you know, anything's possible. Oh. Ah. Alright, I'm gonna snail in chat mode on the phone now. Probably a good thing. No worries, buddy. Just means I'll have to get better at talking to myself. And everyone else in the chat. But I hope this is interesting to watch. I know that watching people fail isn't always the most fun thing in the world, but hopefully the Chrono gaming thing that I'm gonna start doing will be pretty interesting for people to like kind of follow and see how each of the games were iterated in each generation of the game. It's like, this is something that super appeals to me. I love seeing games played in sequential order, and I feel like there's not a lot of people that are doing Chrono gaming, which is super sad to me because, I don't know, like, I don't have the bandwidth to pretend like I can be a gaming historian, but I still want to, like, help catalog games throughout history, and Chrono gaming is like one of those kind of cool ways to at least see how a franchise changed over time. But there's some crazy people that are like doing Chrono gaming of an entire console, like playing all Game Boy games that were ever created, and that's more games than anyone can play in a lifetime. Whoop, I did the same thing again. Yeah, for the... Oh, this is not the boss battle. Never mind. I thought it would be. Bang, bang. That's a lot of bats. Can my boomerang hurt them? Oh, why wasn't I doing that? Oh, oh, that's so much better. Especially since they don't drop anything anyway. Yeah, I should have been using this boomerang. Good old Chris learning the hard way. And also good old Chris learning the hard way that he doesn't have to kill everything all the time. Like I said, I missed out on the Zeldas past A Link to the Past. All in due time. Oh shit, it's this guy. Oh boy. Okay, I have one bomb. I'm not gonna use that. I think I'll just get that potion ready. I mean, if I'm good enough at dodging. Just gotta play the patient game. Ah, well, already failing at that. Oh, I have to hit his body, not his head. Or his head. But his body flickers. Okay, well, I found that out the hard way. My first Zelda was Majora's Mask. That is a wonderful one to start with. Although I suppose maybe one of the most oddball entries. But Majora's Mask is in my top 3, I think. I really, really, truly like Majora's Mask. Which scared the crap out of me in elementary school. Also absolutely fair. That is, it's one of the creepier entries in that franchise. But I think that's why I like it, though. Because it's so, like, odd and very dark. But not very overtly dark. Like, it's very... Yeah, it like leaves you feeling a little off all the time. And I don't know, I loved that theming. Plus the mask system was cool. Nope, nope, that was the wrong way. Oh, I burned myself. Gosh darn. One franchise that I would love to play a Chrono gaming thing on that I don't know if I have the skills for would be the Mega Man franchise. And there are a lot of Mega Man games too. Nathan just like blazes through those games like they're nothing, which is, it bewilders me. But man, I cannot like, I think I played Mega Man 1 or no, it was a, every time. It was a weird PC version, I think, of one of the Mega Mans. And that was my first Mega Man experience. Like, that was it. That's all I ever played. Except for the X series. Or at least Mega Man X. Because that was a great game. Oh, I can't actually push that lock until I kill them. Well, fine, Nintendo. Fool me once and twice. Why don't you? That's okay. That was not a very good run. Doing it with Dark Souls. Ooh. Final Fantasy I tried doing on my own time, actually. And I started with Final Fantasy. I didn't do Chrono gaming exactly because I didn't really have any idea what was what the sequential order was. So I played Mystic Quest first. And I was like, this is a weird game, but okay. And I beat it because Mystic Quest was kind of easy. And then I played the original Final Fantasy, and I was just like, this, there's no information. Where do I go? What do I do? And, yeah, I gave up on my Chrono gaming quest for that one. But I would do it again. I would definitely pick up Final Fantasy and try to, like, beat all of those games. Because that one would be a pretty fun journey. But yeah, Dark Souls, I really want to do that too. I want to go all the way back to, whatever their first one was. I don't know if it was Demon Souls. There might have been one more just before that. But I would love to see the evolution of that franchise too, because that one is fascinating. Especially because it was like their first couple of games were not hits. They largely went under the radar and were kind of just like good enough in Japan to keep the company afloat. Oh man, I will remember that they're there one of these days. I could also, if I leave, I could go farm some hearts. I should get some hearts. I think that's really what needs to be done here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go get that that one heart capsule, because it's really not too far, and that will probably make me at least good enough. Hopefully. Hey, well, that solved the heart issue at least. Wind Arms? Love those games. Wild Arms. Oh, that makes more sense. I know a lot of people that praise Wild Arms, and I've never had the chance to pick them up. And I really should. I feel like those games are remembered very fondly. That's not a good way to go. I remember graduating high school and people talking about just how hard Dark Souls was. I didn't play it until 7 years later. I'm right there with you. I don't know why I didn't pick it up either. I guess I just assumed it wasn't really my cup of tea, but I really liked Dark Souls 1 while I was playing it. So I don't know. I guess I was just missing out. Alright, I'm gonna... Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna buy that shield. I'm gonna save up for that, the blue ring that reduces damage. I think that's a better investment. that shield might block magic projectiles. And I think that's it. I could also be very wrong about that. Well, at least I got one heart. Although, maybe getting a heart capsule will heal me? I don't know if this takes me anywhere. I'm gonna clear these guys out first, though. Ow. Ow. Come on. That's okay. Yeah, that doesn't go anywhere. Well, fine. Oh, I needed more bombs. That actually was kind of nice. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even care that I got it. I got another heart capsule. What? Though I really like 3 a lot. Or do Wild Arms 2. It holds up pretty well. Although I like 3 a lot. 2 is just a great PlayStation 1 title. Yeah, I feel like I missed out a lot on the PlayStation 1 era. There were a lot of really good games that I didn't pick up until I was much older. And I think that's just because my older brother was the one who owned our PS1, so N64 was my console while his was the PlayStation. Which I feel like I didn't really miss out on or at least I still had a pretty good end of the bargain. Because N64, even though a lot of really good franchises jumped ship and moved to PlayStation, N64 had some really good titles too. Okay. Oh, is this dungeon 2? Was I really just circling it the entire time? Bet you I was. I bet you I super was. I definitely was. Well, I guess while I'm here. Man, I don't know how I missed this. Snakes! Ow. At least these guys drop stuff. Ah. Come on. Boop. 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 Feel like this would be a good place to hide a treasure. I'm going to try to not use more keys than I get in the dungeon. So far I've only picked up 1 here. I'm going to try to remember that. Oh, alright. Well, that was full circle. I feel like a snob. I'm feeling like Dark Souls isn't old enough to be qualifying for a Chrono run. I mean, Chrono doesn't have to start with retro. I forget when Demon Souls... I feel like Demon Souls is at least 10 years old, though. And 10 years is I think, the common criteria for whether or not something is considered retro. So, I don't know, that kind of counts for something, right? The snakes are called ropes. Oh, man, what a goofy name. I just remember that from going through the guidebooks. I wonder if that was like... I guess it could be a few things. It could be like them kind of making a joke about it. Oh, everything died. Oh, was that one of the... I know that there are some like... Is there a bomb drop that kills everything in the room? I don't remember, but whatever it was, I picked it up immediately. Yeah. Oh, hey, look at that. Guess I don't need to use that key. Oops, that was the wrong button. That's okay. I'll get more. There's always more bombs. Ah! Bam. Okay, so still net 2 keys. Not to jinx you, but you're breezing through this dungeon. I mean, like, to be fair, I am a little overpowered for what I needed to be at this point. Oop, ah, oop, oop, oop. Oh, wow. I didn't realize the shield actually blocked that. Or would block that. Ow. I got a better boomerang! Is that the dungeon treasure? I feel like it must be. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, it goes everywhere. Also, if you notice, the shape of the dungeon is also the shape of a boomerang. Yeah, I ain't afraid no bats. I got the best boomerang. The magic boomerang. Man, I remember the first time I played this. Getting that boomerang was a huge pain. I'm surprised. I'm actually a little surprised I got that so easily. No, no, no. Leave me alone. Oh, he got me. Okay, still net 2 keys, so now down to 1. Oh yeah, this kills them too. Ah, man, I'm really underutilizing this boomerang. Oh, I'll take that. I think the earlier Zelda enemy names were just the best translations from their Japanese counterparts. That's what I was gonna say, or at least thinking too. Dodongo dislikes smoke, which is their really confusing way of telling you that they don't like bombs. But I guess it kind of works because bombs give off smoke, like at least the sprite does after it blows up. Maybe they don't have as many frames of invincibility as I thought they did. Yeah, all the bombs. Oh, is the Dodongo the boss? I guess he must be. Oh, I remember this. This is a pain just because you can't really predict when he's gonna like just turn, so you have to kind of drop the bomb on him as close as you can. Oh, that wasn't so bad. I thought he was gonna take more hits than that, but you could just run out of bombs and then you don't have the means of killing him, so it's a huge hassle. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Look at that, full health. I might, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I feel like I'm still quite a ways away from getting the magic sword. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad I found that dungeon, even if it took me way longer than it should have. Oh. Okay, well, to be fair, I guess it's like one weird turn in order to get there, and you won't find it otherwise. A little more obvious, though, now that I see it. Let's see. I already forgot where Dungeon 4 was. Oh, Dungeon 4 was the raft. That's right. That's not so bad. And I left dungeon 2 with the 1 extra key, so take that, Zelders. So maybe they really did build some of the dungeons to intentionally have fewer keys than you need, so that you would have to buy some, unless you could figure out where you could blow up walls. Oh boy, I should not be here. I should really not be here. I should really not be here. Oh, goodness. I mean, like, I could go to dungeon 6 over here? Is that right? Well, thanks for the heart at least. Was it this one? No? Ah, there it is. Oh, level 9. Nope. I mean, I guess I could try to get the item. I don't remember what the item is here. Ones who do not have Triforce can't enter. Oh, this is Ganon's level. Never mind, I can't do anything here anyway. It is kind of funny that they let you enter Ganon's domain like early, but you know, don't really let you do anything. It is kind of funny. You know what? No. I'm not gonna buy it because I'm saving up for that blue ring. I gotta buy a ring. No. Ah, well, it's okay. Okay, so this wasn't noticeable until now. Your video and game are slightly out of sync. You'll start saying, dang, I got hit before you got hit. You're able to predict the future. Oh, interesting. I'll have to look into that. That might be a default config with Streamlabs. Or Streamlabs OBS, where they try to like compensate for stream lag. But maybe something with the Elgato isn't configured totally right either. So I'll thanks for mentioning that. That gives me something to investigate. I guess that's sort of a natural growing pain of changing hardware and streaming systems. Although, of course, now I... Oh, give me that. Maybe those always have fairies? And I just didn't realize? Because there's always, like, one enemy that's just hovering around outside of a dungeon. I'm gonna feel real silly if they were always a free fairy. Now, I'm gonna use my boomerang. Oh, it goes through walls. Or it goes through these obstacles, at least. I did not know that. Oh, yeah. Why was I not using this? This is so good. Whoa, you kind of get a little bit of, like, maneuvering with it, too. It's more than I was expecting. Yes. Yes. Oh, interesting. So these guys do still split. Ooh, nice. These guys do still split, but if you do enough damage, you just kill everything. That's kind of fun. I like that. I hit the wrong button. I wasted all of the good things that I had. Why did I ruin everything nice? Give me that boomerang. I need you. Boomerang, please. I guess I didn't even need it. You always do come back. What? Oh. The boomerang. I get it. That's the joke. Walk into the waterfall. I forgot that the secret passage is this way. I like your Avatar reference, Henry. Especially because Sokka is the best character. Okay. Who needs candles anyway? Yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna use a candle here. Oh, you won't let me. Oh, what a mean, cruel joke. Okay, okay. For once, I did not get hit there. Gonna use my good old trusted boomerang. Yeah. What a good tool. I should buy arrows. I still have not done that. To be honest, I kind of forgot about it. But bows are also very nice. Probably would have been a really good tool against this fight. Although I feel way, way more equipped for the dragon fight this time around. Yeah, I didn't think that would do anything. Yeah, I guess I'll just equip the potion, because it's probably not going to get much better than this. Okay, don't move back. Move side to side. There we go. There we go. Ah, poor timing. Ah, poor planning. Oh, I forgot that was a thing. Ah! Okay, okay, I got this. I got this. No, 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 no. Get out of here, flying evil dragon head. Should I use the potion? I don't think he'll do more than 1 heart of damage, but you never know. I'm just gonna use it. It's not worth the risk. I don't want to fail here. Besides, this way I can go buy another 2 potion. Oh, wow. Laser swords, of course. Oh, shoot. I forgot what this paper does. Oh, that's the paper for the potion. Never mind. Interesting that it, like, goes back to that. I love that the old man saying random stuff can just make no sense in the context of the area. No, hi, just go into the waterfall when there's no waterfalls around. Yeah, well, you know, that's sort of indicative of the era. They didn't really have the bandwidth to deliver context. But it led to an interesting experience too, at least. It was like, oh, where is this waterfall that you speak of? Like, now I want to find it. Yeah. Oh, I'm so close to being able to afford that blue ring. I might as well. Is it in this room? Meet the old man at the grave. Okay, so it's not you. But I'm going to start heading toward that shop. I think it was 230 that I needed. I'll take more bombs. More bombs never hurt nothing. I should buy more medicine though, but the blue ring is so good. I think it literally cuts damage in half. That's pretty hard to beat. Oh, I need that. Oh, yeah. I don't know why it took me that long to realize what was right in front of me. I know, but data stuff is fun to tease. Oh, absolutely. I mean, like, I feel like it's important to tease old stuff sometimes too, because it's just like, well, yeah, it's out of context just inherently. It's like out of the era that it was meant for. But that way you just like, I mean, like, I think it's good to tease modern games too, right? Like, just have fun with it. Doesn't matter what you do. I mean, like, serious games are a totally different beast. I feel like if you start teasing serious games, then it quickly turns into a scenario of being just a bad person. But I think that's kind of the rare exception to that rule. Could be Castlevania 2 with its vague clues. Oh, geez. That's another franchise that I really want to explore, because I've barely played any of the Castlevania games. And I really, really want to learn their ways, but I know that they are very cryptic with their information. But I think it would be fun. I'd be way into that. That's another one that I'd really have to like get good at, because I know Castlevania games are not easy. Well, I don't need to be healed. But now I should have enough for that ring. Wherever it was. Maybe it was on the east side. Or... actually, maybe it was on the mountain now that I think about it. I mean, like, if I hit another dungeon first, I might as well just do that. Nope. Tease everything. I'm a bad person anyways. I mean, like, if you're teasing something like a game about a guy whose kid has cancer, I feel like that's a pretty hard thing to, like, even find the grounding to tease, you know? This is pretty heavy. But, to be fair, I feel like most games, even a lot of serious games, still don't totally, like, fall into quite that level of deep and super serious. Oh, this is sort of by the graveyard. What's this? Buy something, will ya? I should probably buy arrows. Okay, fine. You've convinced me. Now I can finally use the bows and arrow. And I believe... yeah, so this costs 1 rupee every time I shoot it. So I'm still gonna use that pretty sparingly. But that said, that is a valuable tool to have, so I will make full use of it while I can. Oh, the blue guys are the tougher ones. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, but these guys do still shoot laser swords. Ah. Oh, I got the fairy afterward. Yeah. It is kind of crazy that those guys also can shoot laser swords, which I believe the Lionels could keep doing that even in I guess in A Link to the Past it was more like lightning bolts out of their mouths. Bet you none of these even have a secret. Come on. Eh, go figure. Oh well. Sometimes you just gotta find out the hard way. Oh. No, no. It's okay. Everything's fine. Just remembered this was the first appearance of the Lionels. Oh yeah. Will you heal me, old man? That'd be really nice. Oh, he's gone. Thought I might as well try. What was in here? Slightly more expensive shield. Oh, I can't even afford that. Eh, that's fine. Yeah, Lionels have been a staple in the franchise for a long time, which is kind of crazy to think about, especially if you look at their latest in their latest version. Ooh, in Breath of the Wild. Old man back message. What do you get at the waterfall? Did I do that? That's not the first sword, is it? Maybe you get a ring from him. It could actually be better than the blue ring. I might just be getting my games mixed up though. I might be thinking of the blue tunic and the red tunic. But there, I mean, there's definitely a similar thing going on in this game. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I'll just go this way. Oh, I wonder if maybe Dungeon 5 is the one that's under the bush. I'm still gonna wait on that shield. I got other things to buy. Is it just money in the stairway over here? I think so. I won't bother with that. I guess I could go to the fairy fountain while I'm here. Actually, that might be the only useful thing over here. I probably should have gone east. That's okay. It's better that I got full health. Chris going all Mario noises on us. Dude, I will play through all the Mario games too. I've been looking at my SNES Classic too, thinking about how much I want to play Super Mario World, because it's just been so long, and it's so good. But I've never played Mario 1 through 3, like the originals. And like, I mean, I've gotten a taste of them, but I've never sat down and just like played all of them. And I just recently got a copy of Mario 1 and Duck Hunt. Like, they came in the same cartridge. But I don't think you can play Duck Hunt unless you have a CRT TV, and like a particular kind of CRT TV, because the refresh rate's too fast. So it actually won't read the little white square that pops up fast enough. Which is kind of a shame. I never played Duck Hunt either. And I do like those games. Although I did pick up Duck Season today because Oculus gave me a $15 credit. So I'll just play that iteration of Duck Hunt or Duck Season. What did I say? I don't even know what I said. I'm just saying stuff at this point. Ah! There's so many. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what's worse, making Zelda sounds or Mario sounds? Because I could just be like, hat, hat. Mario Superstars. Yeah, I mean that one contained Mario 2, didn't it? I guess there's always Mario the Lost Levels too, which was the true Mario 2. And that one's supposed to be pretty hard. But I never played that one either, so I mean, like, that's not outside of the realm of possibility. I have no idea where that blue ring was. I was confident at first, and now I'm nothing short of a fool. Yeah, give me that. Bam. Oh, well, I could go to the waterfall. Mario Superstars on your micro SNES. Nah, that might be on the mini NES, but not the Super Nintendo, unfortunately. Although I guess, yeah, the All-Stars one was on Super Nintendo, wasn't it? Yeah, I don't remember what games were on the NES Classic. Although I would love to get my hands on that at some point too. I'ma do it! Oh, dang. Oh, wow. I actually could have gotten a lot more that time. Let's play a money-making game. Yeah, what up? Alright, one more. One more. Just one more game. I'm gonna win big. Damn it. Oh, that's a huge loss. Oh, now it's got me. Now it's got me in the gambling loop. Oh shit. Dude, no, Mario Superstars was Mario 1, 2, and 3 and official 2 all in. Wow, really? Okay, well, I definitely did not know that. I should stop gambling. I'm wasting all my money. I should have stopped while I was ahead. I really need to get my hands on that, though. I didn't realize that, I never owned that one either when I was a kid, so I just, like, missed out on the All-Stars version. I guess I just assumed it was Mario 2 with, like, mini games, and I was wrong. Man, remember that one time that I had a lot of money? Those were good times. God, that's such, like, a perfect example of, like, gambling behaviors. Like, you get a little bit and you kind of go crazy. You're like, yes, I can make so much more money. How are you with emulation? Easy to get it that way. I mean, like, if I can still reasonably get a game without emulating it, I will absolutely go the more reasonable route. Just because emulating it always kind of cheapened the experience for me. That was the first time I played Earthbound emulated, just because I couldn't get my hands on it any other way, and I always felt like I got a really false experience with Earthbound because of that. And I think after that, it was that and Chrono Trigger both. And so after that, I kind of decided if I can avoid it, I will. But that said, I will absolutely emulate if a game is like... Oh my goodness. Please stop. All my health. But yeah, I will emulate if a game is too difficult to get and I just want to play it. That's how I'm gonna do, at some point I'm gonna play through the Mother series, and that's how I'm gonna have to play Mother 3 because it was never localized, so the only way to get it is through a fan translation that's through an emulator, because that's the only way to play it. Womp womp womp. I'm gonna look up where that blue ring was. Blue ring. Shop in a cave through... Oh, it's through a hidden staircase. Beneath Armos? Oh, I was at the spot where the blue ring was. That was that, the one that was like, oh, it's just a secret stairway. The blue ring was down there. I'm a doofus. Okay, well now I know. And now I'll hopefully remember. But now I don't have enough money, so it doesn't matter. Oh, I should probably pull Twitch back up so I can see what you guys are saying. You disagree? Disagree about what? About emulation? That it soils the experience? That's just, like, me personally. Like, it felt wrong playing it with the wrong controller and, like, keyboard. It didn't work for me. Especially, like, having the easy accessibility of save states. It was like, well, then I started using save states, and then the game was like, the games were easier than they should have been. It just, there's a lot of things that go wrong so fast when you emulate a game because it gives you too much control. And in some cases, save states are super, super nice because it's like, these games are impossible. There's no way you're ever going to play them otherwise. And like, that's totally fine. I have no issues with that. I just, you know, if I can play it the original way, I will do my damnedest to do so. Oh, just had to quote Nathan. I see how it is. Trying to invoke my Nathan rage without Nathan being present. Oh no 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 no. Oh boy. Okay, well, that's a few less that I have to worry about. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, okay. Immediate death is not as imminent until I go here. Okay. That's much less bad when I use the boomerang like I'm supposed to. Whew. I feel like this is... Yeah, okay. I'll buy medicine. I should. You made good choices today, Chris, because you keep dying too much. And nobody wants to see a stream where you die a lot and complain every time. Oh, ah. He's gonna come back. Oh, they shoot through walls. That's okay. Dude, Nathan's goodbye invoked. I'ma slap ya. Not rage so much. Yeah, it was a very Nathan conclusion. That's why I was like, alright, this feels appropriate, I guess. But yeah, it was a little douchey. I hope it didn't actually make anyone mad, though. I did think it was kind of fun having it side by side with mine. Where, like, mine is really, like, downtrodden and sad. And then Nathan's just like, don't be sad. I love you. You a smart ass. I'm pretty sure that's exactly how he tries to console Rachel when he fights with her. Rachel being his wife, for anyone who doesn't know. I'm pretty sure there's a secret room along that rock wall. I could be super wrong, though. In which case, I won't prove myself wrong. Could really go for a fairy, though. That would be super. Oh, phooey. I didn't know wife, but I knew significant other. Oh yeah, they've been married for a little while now. Although, to be fair, when Rachel first showed up on the show, they might not have been married at that point. I think they've been married for 3-4 years, maybe. I was their best man, I should know better. Wow, this is awkward. Oh wait, I don't have to go up there. There's nothing up there for me. But why just one little guy over here? That's what I want to know. Maybe because it's like, oh, this is what you're about to walk into. Here's 1,000. Hope you have fun, sucker. Ah, yes, I need that. Gimme. Gimme, gimme. Yes. Okay. Finally in good standing. Goodish standing, anyway. Although, honestly, I'm not 100% sure what I'm trying to do right now. I guess I could go to Dungeon 6 like I had found before. I guess I'm trying to, like, go to the graveyard. Possibly. I also just keep dying over here like a doofus. So if I could just not do that, then everything would be fine. Have I gone over to those trees yet? What's over here? Oh, death and certain death. Goodness. Oh, of course I bumped into him. Okay. Slowly but surely. Just... Oh! I think I should not go over there yet. Maybe I should just go over to Dungeon 6. Although I have an inkling where Dungeon 5 is. I think it's west. I'm gonna go west. Forget what I can do with these rocks. There's something I get at some point that allows me to interact with them, I think. Maybe it's just the power bracelet. I can, like, push them. Been emulating Soul Calibur 1. Oh, interesting. I never considered that. No save states is fun. Also being able to see... What? Hold on. Being able to see imperfections in models when viewed in HD. I mean, that's fair. Yeah, that would be kind of fun, actually. Because that's like the only chance you'll get to see them in a super high-res kind of state. Unless you have modded hardware, but even then, that's a pain in the butt. So I believe the entrance to Dungeon 5, maybe 7, hopefully 5, is I have to burn a bush over here in a somewhat obvious spot. But I could also be wrong. I think if I get the red candle too, I can burn more in each zone. Actually, being an artist, do you occasionally scrutinize old game art? Or better put, dissect? Oh, absolutely. Especially when it comes to like old sprite art, because it's like oftentimes there was a lot sacrificed. Yeah, alright. Boy, you're really rich. Great. So I have to pay you less. Go northwest, southwest. Northwest, southwest. Up, left, down, left. Okay. Up, left, down, left. That's easy. Man, that's so mean that they don't tell you if you... That's just mean. There's no need for that. Well, now at least I know how to get here. Now to the graveyard! Where I can get the magic sword, but I don't think I have enough hearts for it. But I'll at least get... Ow. Ow! Oh, where was it? Oh, that's right, I can't actually hurt them. Oh, no. How do I... Oh, geez, it just keeps spawning more. Goodness gracious. Was there something I could do to it? Maybe I have to blow it up? I thought I just had to push it. Maybe not. Ooh. Okay. Well. Oop, that's not what I... Oh, well, that hurts them, at least. I feel like all of these are going to spawn ghosts no matter what I do. My feeling is that I'm pretty sure it's in the upper right corner. Like one of these guys. But I'm not 100% sure. Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay. Master using it, and you can have this. Yeah, I don't have enough hearts yet. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So I think I'm pretty close to having enough. I might need 11. Oh, good. Fantastic. This is everything I ever hoped for. I should get my boomerang. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. Well, So in Soul Calibur, there's a few visible texture. It seems I'm noticing that doesn't allow a large enough bleed space. I mean, that's a pretty common issue, especially because it's like, can you have the... I could have had the world. But yeah, especially back then, it was like, you know, they didn't have a lot of the fatality, or they were like, no one's gonna see this anyway, so why should we bother fixing this? Which, you know, is kind of fair. Obviously, people realized it later on, or maybe they could only vaguely notice it. But yeah. I promise there's a dungeon somewhere, though, that requires you to burn your way in. I swear I'm not crazy. I've done it once before. Up, left, down, left. The only thing... I only think... Sorry, Henry, sorry. Keep getting distracted by the bad guys. Okay. I only think you guys looking for it would notice it. Yeah, that makes sense. And the average person's probably not really paying any mind, nor really cares too much. But it is interesting to see where, like, things did kind of get cornered, or corners, where corners were cut, you know? And, like, working in industry, like, that makes a lot of sense, because when you're working on a budget, it's really, really tough to make that work. For really anyone, too. It's like, you could have a tiny budget, huge budget, doesn't matter. You're always going to run short on time. Alright, so up, left, down, left. I may not be able to get the magic sword, but boy howdy, I'm gonna see what was over in the other side. Ha! Ha! Hit me with your laser swords now! Dungeon 5? Oh, level 6. What was the other one that I saw? Was that 7? Now I'm getting all... Oh, maybe I was over here and I just hit it from a different side. Oh, boy. Oh, I already have the candle out. Would you look at that? There's a lot of these guys. What happens if I go this way? Did you think about that game? Totally get that. Just cool dissecting old games and thinking, dude, I could make assets to this game. I mean, that's fair. You gotta figure, though, like, back then, it was a lot harder to make assets like that. Like, there was no 3DS Max or Blender. There was, I mean, oftentimes, like, hard coding polygon positions and figuring out, like, manual, or, you know, writing programs to actually draw polygons. You didn't have third-party software to build them beforehand. You had to build them yourself. And obviously that changed at a certain point, but even still, it wasn't easy for a very long time. Hey, look at that, a compass. It is cool, though, like, the fact that it is a lot easier to be able to make art, so much so that, you know, even, like, fledgling 3D artists could make things that might be on par with old PS1 era stuff. That I mean, like, oh jeez, that dealt a ton of damage. But that speaks to how far we've gone in terms of technology, right? Like, that's awesome. And of course, like, now getting educational resources on how to do stuff like that is... Oh! They just... Wow. That's... Okay, don't get hit by those. That's what I have learned. Are you gonna drop a fairy? Is that how this works? No. I guess that's not a for sure thing. Maybe I just got lucky that one time. I wonder if these guys are out here, though, so that you can kind of farm? It's a real pain in the ass if that's the case. Ow. Well, I definitely don't want to die outside of the dungeons, so I'm gonna... just gonna take my pickings here. Well, you know, that was inevitable. I don't feel so bad about that one. Jeez, man. I don't even need to kill these guys. Get my good old trusty boomerang. Oop, well, look how trusty he is. Ah. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. What? Man, I walked into that. Pff, what a doofus. Whew. You use that voice, you better be fishing. Obi. It's not exactly the same voice, but it's pretty close. Ow. I didn't mean to go backward. I do kind of miss playing Okami, though. I am excited, though, that it's coming out for the Switch. Which means the next iteration of those motion controls. Yeah, boy. No, no, no. Oh, my God. Ah! Come on, man. Tick, 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 tick. Oh, the blue ones just walk around. Jeez! Ah! Dungeon 6 is hard. I need that blue ring. I think that's what I've ultimately decided. I'm gonna take a different path, though, and see what else I can get. I don't remember what the treasure is here. So if I can at least... Oh, great. Aim at the eyes of Goma! Thanks. I guess I will. Ah! That was not what I wanted to see while entering this room. Give me a fairy. That would be nice. I would really like a fairy, please. Yeah, back to this mayhem. Alright, not so bad that time. Ah! Oh, wow. Actually getting... Henry, help. Send help. I feel bad I got back into the series so far behind you guys. You keep asking for feedback, and I would have loved to have helped. That's alright, buddy. I mean, like... ultimately, that wouldn't have been the make it or break it for whether or not we kept GDPG going anyway. I think we were already... Oh, wow, would you look at that? What? I think we were already on the path to destruction for that show. So, it's what it is. Plus, we definitely hit a point of, like, oversaturation of content, I think, where we just, like, had too many videos every day, so that people just couldn't keep up with it. So if we come back to that show, there'll definitely be some pretty significant changes to it, but for now, that one's just going to be on hiatus until we kind of know where we're going to be for the next rest of our life. Because part of the reason for us dropping GDPG was that some of us might move. And while that's not definitively happening yet, it was just like, well, it kind of made us face the reality of the fact that, you know, that show's unsustainable. Oh my god. The blue guys. I don't understand, though, why there was a secret entrance there. That doesn't matter. I'm not really at liberty to say, just for various reasons, especially because it's like it may not happen. But it could also be more than just one person, too, for what it's worth. It could be Nathan too. It could even be me. You'll never know. Until it happens, I guess. I mean, for what it's worth too, even if it does happen, it's not going to happen for quite some time anyway. But not that that was the only reason we dropped GDPG also. It was just like, we put so much time into that show, and we still had a very hard time kind of finding an audience interested in that content. So it became pretty clear in the end that a game design Let's Play is not a very desirable thing, which is okay. It's just, you know, not what we hoped for. It's $250. Jeez, man, that is really expensive. Can't you, like, give me a deal? Just a little one, please. Okay, well, it's getting late. I think I'm going to call the stream here. Next Tuesday, I will be finishing up Legend of Zelda, and then we'll move on to Zelda 2. Because I think at this point, and maybe I'll just farm for rupees off camera, just so that I can get that blue ring. Because that'll make the whole thing tremendously easier. Oh, you dropped out. I'm calling the stream, but yeah, next Tuesday, more Zelda. Not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, I'm starting indie games also. And Sunday is something. It really is just kind of up in the air. Intentionally so, because that might be the best place for people like Nathan to jump in and stream some Monster Hunter, or I might do other random things, or whatever I might feel. Like I could stream some Mario Odyssey, or Hammerwatch Heroes, which I've been playing a stupid amount of. Yeah. So, cool. Thanks for watching, everyone that watched, and thanks to anyone who watches the YouTube archive of the stream. And let me know what you like and don't like about the stream. Obviously, it's been a while since I've streamed, so I'm looking to improve it in any way that I can. And hopefully people are into the Chrono gaming idea. I hope people enjoy that. And let me know if anyone has any suggestions on other games that I could play for the Chrono gaming series. I know Zelda's a bit of a long journey, but I'm absolutely down for other things. Like I considered playing the Mother series before this one, but due to popular request, a la Henry, Zelda came first, and I'm honestly not opposed. I've wanted to do this for a while anyway. I say as I keep playing. I'm going to play for a little bit more. Just kidding. But I am ending the stream soon. Just want to see what's over here. Oh, okay, I've been over here. Alright, that's it. Bye, folks.